Today, we talk about... Oops. Hey, all right, we're back, guys. Let's do the Yeezys, all right? So this was a request, so let's do it. Now, if you haven't noticed, and if you didn't hear me say before, this is all in a semi-chronological order in a snake-like fashion, so get it. So first and foremost, the first collaboration that was done that we know of that came out to the public was the Bapestas. And I know this is so awful. I don't know how to fix this. If you know how to fix this, please let me know. But what it is. So these being the Bapestas, the college dropout Bapestas. Beautiful take on a Air Force One knockoff by Nego of Bape, which you can see obviously there with the tag. So the Bapesta is that iconic model with hundreds of different colorways, super bright, taking us well away from the traditional Air Force colorways, which are usually muted, most known for its classic white on white. So Nego is like, F that ish, we gonna pop them with some Bapa colors. And that's what he did with these. And what more iconic Bapes that exists than the college dropout one. So hey, that's a number one. And if you want a clean look at a pair without the scuff, there you go. Although this has a little bit of a scuff too, a little bit of fraying, it is what it is. Interesting fact about the box on these, the authentic boxes, if you check like underneath the inside flap, I know that's not a great description, but if you do, there's like, I can't remember if it's like a just a naughty photo or like this dude pissing. I can't remember, but it is what it is. Anyway, fast forward a little bit. Nike gifts Kanye a special pair of Air Max 180s, which this being the OG of it, and you guys have seen me talk about the history of this shoe before, but there was a there was a version of the shoe that was supreme looking quality, leathers on it and whatnot, with the college dropout theme to it and whatnot. That was a sample pair given and gifted to Kanye. And then there was also, I believe, was it a Hirachi 2K4? I want to say that's what it was, but either way, neither of them were released to the public, so I don't even count them. That's why I haven't been on a harsh search to get them, on top of the fact that you just can't find them. But if you have them available, I might be interested. Just hit me up, I'll reconsider, maybe. Anyway, moving right along. Fast forward a little bit, all of a sudden, mind's blown, everyone's freaking out. Kanye has now partnered with Nike and started to put out shoes that he's wearing to his shows. Prototypes of this shoe start coming out, but the one that actually released to the public is this, the Nike Air Yeezy 1. This being the Blink colorway. So for those that don't know, I had originally heard this quoted as, oh, it was gone in a blink of an eye, and that's why they call it that. No, it's Blink because it's black and pink. Blink, similar to how this is, breads, black and red. These are Blinks, black and pink. So you see the Yeezy tag on these, which, by the way, as I'm sure a lot of you know if you're watching this in real time, not real time, but in recent time, Lebron clearly loved this shoe because he recently put out a retro of the Lebron 16, which this is the original colorway, the breads, of the LeBron 16, but clearly he's been doing this whole LeBron watch-ish where he has inspirations from previous models carrying over to his model. And one of the things that happened is the net colorway of these, which I didn't like personally. They're all nice, but the Zen one's nice too, but the Blink to me were the ODest of the OD Air Yeezy ones. Particularly because it looked the most similar to the pair he wore, I want to say at the Grammys, the iconic picture where everyone sees him just doing the Kaepernick type of ish, you know what I mean? So to me, that was the best colorway, and that's why I wanted to go with the Blink. Plus, the crazy details with all the different Ys that go through here, the glow-in-the-dark sole, back when, I believe this was in the era of the glow-in-the-dark tour that he was doing. And common misnomer, a lot of people like to say that this is the sole of the Jordan 3, right? But, actually I should pull this one. Because, Kanye has been seen, or had been seen, spotted rocking, Jordan 3s. But, interesting enough, so even though at this angle they look very similar, dead giveaway. Actually, it's not a dead giveaway, they're the same. Okay, never mind. But, truth be told, at that time, because we're talking 2009 era, Jordan Brand was like, no, 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 absolutely not. It's not like today's era where you get Off-White just absolutely, for lack of a better term, murdering a shoe, just gutting it and just totally turning it into its own thing. Back then, Jordan Brand was not messed with at that level for a collaboration, let alone from a wild card like Kanye. So, let alone a musician and not a athlete. So it was a way different time for sneakers back then. With that said, because Kanye loved Jordans, being from Chicago, all right, am I right? And loving the Jordan 3, which almost everyone does if you love Jordan and if you love Jordan Brand, to get around that roadblock of Nike and Jordan Brand telling him he can't use the Jordan 3 sole, there's a different model of there's a different model of Nike that did use the same tooling, the same midsole, outsole as the Jordan 3, and it's escaping me. It's not that. Is it the Air Revolution? I really don't think so. But whatever that unit is, that's the first model that, or not the first model, that was the model that Kanye used to tell Nike, hey, I want to use that for my hybrid, et cetera, whatever that I'm constructing for this Air Yeezy 1, because he really wanted that iconic Jordan 3 base to it, which, don't forget, this was the first time a Jordan model featured a visible air bubble. That was the first time we saw a Jumpman. There was a lot of firsts to that shoe, which I had recently discussed, not recently, but not too long ago, I discussed the history of that Jordan 3 and how iconic it was. So clearly, it makes total sense that Kanye would try to incorporate it into his first sneaker collaboration with Nike, the first dedicated one. But yeah, man, the level of materials on these is super dope. You get your suedes, you get your leathers, again, glow in the dark, love the hits of pink. And this further became iconic for that Yeezy line once we fast forward to the Yeezy 2s with the sole of red. But before we get there, right around the same time that he was doing all this, he did collaborate with Louis Vuitton. And when he did that, he put out a few different models. I collected the two iconic ones in the best colorways that were featured. This being the Patchworks. Is it the Just Don Patchworks or the Don Patchworks? I can't remember, but regardless, Patchworks. Look at the craziness of these tassels, the gold-plated ish, the premium leather. These are super comfortable. Look how freaking padded this leather is. You get the gold trim on the inside of the tongue. You get this collar on the back, which apparently is inspired by the movie Doom. I've never seen it. Apparently it's pretty iconic. For you movie buffs and cinephiles out there, my bad, but it is what it is. You get the Louis Vuitton branding at the bottom. I love wearing these shoes, man. I don't wear these enough, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. And you can kind of see the embossed Louis Vuitton Kanye West right there. So this was a superb collaboration. So happy I was able to get my hands on those. Extending to, again, probably what I almost would say I definitely prefer over those, because I am a sucker for high tops, as I've mentioned multiple times. These being the Jaspers, super loud. I believe Carmelo Anthony had a pair at some point, amongst many other celebrities. But what is amazing about the shoe, and I know the shoe has been talked about countless times on the Ugliest Six segment with my non-sneakerhead jerk friends, am I right? They don't know anything, am I right, guys? These are amazing, but really only for like dedicated sneaker fanatics, because when you have this many sneakers, I can go to my basic whites or my basic blacks, right? But then when I want something that just straight up just goes bop, this is that shoe. You get the multiple straps. I love straps. Get this strap. And you get, again, the tassels with the gold trim. Again, gold trim to this lace loop. Again, that Dune inspiration type-ish. The ribbing, which, hey, now that I'm just noticing this, I could totally see this being the preliminary teaser to the Yeezy 2s, which we'll get to shortly. Wow, this is taking way longer than I thought it would. I thought I would just breeze through this, but I'm just so excited. Fat Joe triggered. Okay, so then you get the Louis Vuitton logo there, Louis Vuitton writing there, the suede, which I'll be honest with you, the color does seem to be fading to me a little bit, but this atomic type pink type-ish really sets this thing off, man. This is a great looking shoe. Again, super comfortable. Not really much else I can really say about this, but it is what it is. And hey, fast forward a little bit, his boy, his protege, Virgil Abloh, now who of Off-White fame, now is menswear director at Louis Vuitton. So it's all full circle, baby. Okay, now Fast forward a little bit more. I believe now we're in 2012. Is it 2012? 2011, 2012, 2013 era. We're talking these two colorways and then this final one. So I'm gonna spend some dedicated time on this, but God, I gotta catch my breath here. We first got these two. Now, again, if you see me with multiple colorways of a shoe, you know that silhouette is fire, bro. Yeezy 2s, maybe the all-time, to some, maybe the all-time greatest shoe ever made from a lot of different reasons, but this being the last silhouette that Kanye was responsible for, if that's the right way to say it, with Nike before he moved over to Adidas, which is what the rest of this ish is gonna be. This being the Solar Red colorway, countless, not knockoffs, but inspired kicks that got featured, like different Roshis that came with that colorway, different Nike ID options, people rocking this Solar Red. Again, you get that callback to the blinks with the atomic pink type ish, the Solar Red with the glow in the dark sole with the black base. This ish was just, woo! Strap, he loves straps. Clearly, again, you get another strap. You get this little lace lock here, which is super dope with the leather, and then the gold lace tips. Guys, I know everyone bitches and complains that these like fall out or whatever. I have not had a problem, and I wear these actually fairly routinely. I really do wear all these Yeezy 2s fairly routinely. What I found is the best way is to not let them just bash into each other all the time. Try and separate the laces out. Really get them snug and secure under this strap. And so they don't knock into each other. Really screw those motors in there. Like just sit there and just screw them together so that they don't come out. Because otherwise you just look ridiculous when you rock them without the, you know, the tips. I don't know. This is me. Anyway, so yeah, Solar Red, and then you get the pure platinum. To me, one of the greatest summer shoes ever made. I love wearing this in this kind of weather. I mean, look at this. You get this beautiful New York summer, or not summer. Is it spring yet? Yeah. Spring-ish day. I know there's a few clouds in the sky, but you got some green grass coming in. You got Central Park just like coming into full bloom, and this is a perfect shoe to wear for that. Again, same kind of idea. Separate out the lace locks, this being silver compared to the gold with the Solar Reds. Dude, just one of the most comfortable, the height to comfort ratio on these Yeezy 2s is straight up out of the park. Closely rivaled by these off-white Prestos. Supremely comfortable. It's just insane, guys. So yeah, really have no qualms with these. True to size for sure. You get that leather snakeskin type ish, faux ish. Again, you get this base coming from the AirTech Challenge 2, baby, which I also love in the spring. Go figure. Maybe there's something about this sole in springtime that just really speaks to it. But this is that ish, man. These, the Andre Agassi joint in the hot lava, fire, right? Get it? Hat. Is that it with these? I think so. By the way, this mesh is muy bueno. Now, we get to the Coup De Gras, the Red Octobers, all up on your sofa. The last ever shoe released by Kanye with Nike. Now, this is my personal grail. This is the sneaker I looked at, I saw pictures of, and the minute I saw pictures of them, not knowing ish about sneakers back then, I just looked at my Facebook feed and I was just like, damn, son, where did you find this? I literally said that in my own head multiple times. This being slightly different from the other two versions in that you get the faux snakeskin here, but then you get like the pyramid triangles and all that fancy cutout. I really love how this looks on the swoosh. It's like super cool. Again, all three models had the dinosaur fins on the back, which again, I feel like now looking at these Dune inspired issues, that maybe that was the genesis of the idea, but a super plush, spongy tongue, all red aerothan, gold tips, again, the strap, get this strap, the sole, again, inspired by the AirTech Challenge 2s. And if you were there, you know, after these dropped, almost every sneaker you saw come out was just like all red aerothan. So, Louboutin triggered, all right? So, that's the Red Octobers. Next thing you know, relationship sours, and man, I keep saying I'm gonna make this history video, and I really don't, but let's just briefly talk about it now. After these two released, right? Now there's this soured relationship with Nike. Kanye's leaving, if not has already left for Adidas, and then Nike in a shock drop. Talk about shock drops. The shock drop of all shock drops just sends out one simple tweet, and just says, yo, Red October's up for sale on Nike.com, get them. And that was it. There was no in-store drops, there was no raffles, there was no bullshit, there was nothing. Just tweet it and that's it. So within 11 minutes, these were sold the F out. Shock drop, baby. In the pre-bot era, all that ish. Excuse me. So so this was a special release because people were really concerned because they were seeing him rocking these in the streets and be like, dude, are these gonna release or what? And then the rumor was that you know, now that he was headed to Adidas, it's not already there, they were never gonna come out. And then Nike just like, yo, we already made these issues, let's get rid of them. Bah, you know. So at least that's how the rumor mill goes. That's the popular story. That's what I'll stick to. It is what it is. Now we're at the Adidas stage, and holy crap, I'm out of breath. Woo! Too much Kanye. You know what? Actually, here's an idea. Let's cut this video now. That'll be the part 1 Nike edition, and we'll come back for part 2. See you soon. Bye.